Okay, guys, so a lot of you are asking me about my initial success, um, and how I kind of launched during the pandemic. And people are like, "Man, how did you get a fan base so quickly?" And while it was with ads for sure, basically telling all my social media accounts to target people who like EDM, and more specifically, people who are likely to enjoy tropical house, maybe happy future bass like Marshmello, and sort of that Spinnin' Records, Piano House, Galantis, Matoma, Harry Fong, um, Kygo kind of sound. So it was ads targeted at the right people, and that's that. Don't brush over that. That's important. You can't just run ads. You need to run ads. Ready? Targeted at the right people, not just EDM fans, not just dubstep fans. You got to really zero in. But the other thing that was cool about this, and I kind of jumped ahead by talking about ads first, um, Lander, and I've talked about them before, how I've been with them. Um, they offer when you're with them, when you pay to be a member with them, they originally offered this within the membership price. Now it's gone up to $15 per remix, but they will basically clear your remixes for you. So people are like, "How did you remix Swedish House Mafia? How did you remix Skrillex?" And like, it's not a bootleg, it's like it's an actual remix. And like, how did you do that on your own? It didn't even get released under his label or any kind of official release of like a major label. How did you do that? I did it through Lander. I asked Lander if I could do this, and they said yes. But um, here's what you want to do, because you'll notice I was able to successfully remix uh, Swedish House Mafia, and I was able to remix Skrillex, but I was not able to remix and officially release my Marshmello remix. Here's what I found out. Here's why. The first two, Swedish House Mafia and Skrillex, were luck of the draw. I made the songs, I submitted them to Lander, and they released them for me. What I didn't realize was they were doing something for me that I took for granted because I had just so happened to pick songs that were in the catalog. What I mean by that is, if you're with Lander and you want to follow what I did to a T, which is a really great way to do, because I'm speaking from direct experience and can show you directly what I did. They said go to Harry Fox Agency, and more specifically, go to their other website, songfile.com, and do a public search, and make sure that when you do a public search on the song, it is listed here. If it does not come up here, then you know Lander is not going to touch it. Okay? Actually, let's see if we can just search out the song title. So what I'm saying is, if you go to Songfile and you search for a song like I just did, if it does not come up in one way or another, like sometimes you'll have to mess with it. Like, I was going to search for this and I was going to type in Skrillex as the writer. That may not be correct. It may be listed under Sonny Moore, his actual name, rather than his DJ name, Skrillex. It takes a minute, but if it doesn't come up, then you know Lander can't touch it. And you know that if you make that track, that remix, and you submit it to Lander, they're going to kick it back to you and say that they can't release it, and then at that point, you've got a remix that's a bootleg. And what do you do with it? I don't know. Put it on SoundCloud until copyright infringement deletes it off of there. I don't know what else to tell you. I don't know what else to do with it. So the moral of the story is, make sure it comes up on Songfile, like Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites does, or like my other remix that I'm working on right now, Levels. And right, Tim, I'm not quite sure how to spell Avicii's last name, but we'll keep it at that. So go here first. Make sure the song that you want to remix pops up. Once it pops up, may not be a bad idea to shoot Lander an email and say, "Hey, I'm going to remix this song. It did come up on Songfile. I just want to make sure that there's not going to be an issue of releasing this track, being that it came up on Songfile, being that I checked it and it looks good. I just want to make sure you guys are cool with this and that there isn't any issues with it, because I see no issues with it. It came right up. Here's the HFA song code. So when I go to the trouble of remixing this song and going through all that work that it takes to remix a song in the next week or 4, that when I give this to you, there shouldn't be an issue, right? They should get back to you. Everything looks good. You should be good to go. You say thank you very much. You go through the trouble of remixing it. You give them their $15, and they should be able to release it for you, and you should be able to basically post it wherever the heck you want. You know, Lander will send it out to Apple Music and Spotify and all the other outlets, and you should be A-OK. So, understand, why would you want to mess with Remix? And like, I get a lot of hate. Like, people are like, oh, you ripped off Skrillex, this isn't real. My friends, anybody who has left a hateful comment about my Skrillex remix, I don't know what to tell you. It is real. I went through the Harry Fox agency. I went through Songfile. I okayed it with Lander. Lander has no problem with it. I run ads to that, and a lot more people love it than hate it. It's the people who are super ignorant that do not understand that I legit did it the right way. And like, you know, I did it the right way because Spotify and Apple Music would never let EDM classics like Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites and Swedish House Mafia's Don't You Worry Child and Avicii's Levels, which it looks like I was looking at the Korean version, so pardon me. It's this one here. They would never let an artist of my caliber release these EDM hits, these legacy hits, these classic hits that will never go out of style across international platforms, and not only international platforms, but major platforms that get major money and major streams every day, if it wasn't legal and cleared and okay. So people might hate you for the remix, but I'll tell you what, for as many people that may not like it, you'll get about 5 to 10-fold that love it. And it's always easier to build a fan base on the back of a remix, an original remix, than it is off of an original track. So stand on the shoulders of EDM gods that came before you, remix their stuff, and point ads towards that, and use your social media bots to help you interact with these people initially, to get them pulled into your funnel, and slowly work them down the funnel tighter and tighter and tighter, turn them into a super fan if they're willing to do that, and call it a day. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Remixes have a lot more power and marketing money and memories and exposure behind them than some newcomer with a completely original track. I'm not saying don't be original, have originals as well, but what I'm saying is it's a lot harder to attract a fan base with an original than it is with a remix. Or let's put it this way. You can attract a fan base with an original track that has a unique sound, for sure. But it really helps if right next to that original track, they see their favorite artist of all time being remixed by you as well. Because they're going to listen to that, they're going to love it, they're going to appreciate your originals, they're going to buy the t-shirt, they're going to turn into a super fan, and you can rinse and repeat that process many times over, as opposed to if you didn't bother latching your original music, in my case tropical sounds, steel drum sounds, with sounds of people who came before you and remixing them in your style, than if you just do it alone and not remix anybody and just do your own original sounds. So I know that was a mouthful. I hope that helps you though, guys. That is literally how I launched the beginnings of my fan base and fame. I remixed other people in my style and then ran ads with those songs in the ad, urging people to join my Spotify if they want to hear more. It's been a building process of about 6-7 months. You never really stop it, but I am living proof that this method works. So get to work, guys. Remix, run ads towards the remix.